Hey guys, how's it going? Amanda Goldman Petrie here, or AGP from Market Like a Nerd, and I am currently hiding out in my 5-year-old's room on his bunk bed. This is like his little animal kingdom here, and I've got my cats with me because my husband is asleep in the bedroom. My 11-year-old is asleep downstairs. It's really loud outside, so there's nowhere really for me to go. I'm hiding out in my 5-year-old's bedroom. This is life in quarantine. I look a hot mess. I got no makeup on. My hair is a mess because I just got out of a colonoscopy and the sedation has worn off. And that's a whole story for another day, but I'm gonna leave it at not recommended if you can avoid it. I'm not a medical doctor, so don't take medical advice from me, but it wasn't the best. It wasn't the best. So anyhow, let's get down to business. We wanted to talk today about the different types of traffic that you have available to you and which of those is going to make sense for your particular business. So I just wanted to go through a couple of different forms of traffic that exist. I don't want this to be one of those trainings and live streams when like you have a guru saying this is the only form of traffic that will ever work and don't use anything else, because there's a time and a place for each type of traffic. You know, I don't want to say no, never use SEO, no, never media marketing, like Facebook ads is the only way to go, because I love Facebook ads and I fully believe in them, but there are multiple forms of traffic and they have their own time and place and purpose. So let's take a look at each of them. The first one that I want to talk about is SEO, search engine optimization. And basically the idea behind this type of traffic is that you're going to get organic leads and organic views to your website or to your funnels, because people are going to be searching in Google for certain keywords, and then you're going to show up when those keywords are searched. And then they'll click on your website from those results. So the benefit of that type of traffic is you're showing up in Google searches. Now, this type of traffic is really, really great for local businesses. And the reason why I say that is because local businesses are who we're typically searching for in Google. You know, when you're looking for a doctor, a dentist, a chiropractor, a roofer, a plumber, you're probably not going to be going into a Facebook group for suggestions for those types of people. You're probably not going to be clicking on a Facebook ad because there's like a certain time that you know that you need to go to a dentist, or that you know you need to go to a chiropractor, and you're going to, at that time, you're going to go into Google and you're going to type, you know, plumber in Panorama City, chiropractor in Panorama City, and whoever shows up first in those Google searches, that's typically who you're going to be going and looking at and calling. So if you're a local business and you thrive on local traffic, you have either a brick and mortar store or you come into people's houses to do some type of service, then sure, SEO makes sense for you. But if you want to, but let's think about other types of businesses that are not like that. Businesses that are national, businesses that are international. Are you usually going to be looking online to find those types of people? Usually not. Like, I'm not going to be going in Google and typing in mindset coach for entrepreneurs or money coach for entrepreneurs, that type of thing. I'm not going to be typing that in. I'm going to be using referral marketing. I'm going to be looking at referrals. I'm going to be going into Facebook groups for my niche and asking people in Facebook groups who they recommend. I'm going to be responding in Facebook ads and clicking on those types of things, subscribing to their lists, and then ultimately deciding from there. So if you're a coach of some sort that is not a local coach, you know, like if you're a fitness coach and you work in a local area, okay, sure, maybe SEO will still work for you. But if you're a fitness coach and you have a virtual fitness coaching program and you can serve anyone all across the nation and the world, SEO is not going to make as much sense, right? So that's the first form of traffic is SEO, and it's really meant for you if you have a local business and you're serving local clients. Otherwise, it's a complete and utter waste of time. It really is, because you're not going to get leads that way. You're just not. Or even if you do, it's not going to be happening very often. So sometimes I'll see people who will be investing in these SEO experts, and they're optimizing your website and they're optimizing your social media. They ain't doing shit. It's bull crap that they're just saying that they're doing so that they can take your money. Like, really, that's what it is. So that's the first form of traffic, and that's who it's meant for, and that's who it's not meant for. Let's take a look at social media marketing. That's the second form of traffic that is very popular. Social media marketing, and by that I mean like building up their own Facebook pages or going into other people's Facebook groups or other people's LinkedIn groups, trying out all of the new social media platforms and trying to get traffic that way. And a lot of times people do that because, number one, they think they have to because it's a big thing right now. You know, we're in the digital era. You're supposed to be online. You're supposed to be on social media. And, number two, they don't want to go into Facebook ads. SEO doesn't make sense for them, so they think that social media marketing is just the next best thing. And just like SEO, social media marketing makes sense for a certain type of person at a certain time in certain niches. Again, if you are a local business, you're really not going to get that much traction from social media. I mean, you could have a fan page that has your address, and that might show up in the feeds. If people are researching you after they find you on Google, they might then go to your fan page to do additional research. So I would say if you're a local business, honestly, just having a page that has your local address and then, some activity is really all that's necessary, because the bulk of your work is going to end up coming from that SEO. Now, if you are a more national or international business, if you are in an industry where people actually hang out online, there are some industries where people don't really hang out online. Like if you're trying to target C-level executives, most of them are not going to be giving you their name and email address. Like I don't give my name and email address to just about anyone, because I'm at a certain point in my business where I'm not opting in for freebies. I'm not wasting my time scrolling through social media, watching live streams like this, which is hilarious, and going into other people's Facebook groups. That's just not how I'm spending my time. And so the more higher, the higher income you are targeting in your niche, sure, they might be on social media, but you've got to keep in mind that they're busy as hell. And so the way that you're going to attract them on social media is not by constantly making a ton of different, this was one of the most important things you taught me, awesome, is not going to be by, posting a bunch of different things and asking them for a name and email address. When we're actually in our business, when we're targeting higher income clients on Facebook, typically what we're doing is we're actually sending them directly to the sales page, and we're having ungated content where we don't even ask them for their name and email address. We'll have like a training at the top, and then they can go and schedule right underneath of that. We don't even ask for it because we know they're not going to get it, or if they give it, they're not going to be like, they're really not going to be engaging with those emails too much. People like me, like I do not give my name and email address away, and I do not engage in newsletters much at all. So I'm the type of person where if I know I need something, I'm just going to go ahead and buy it as long as I can trust that person. So if I can see enough content to know okay, I can trust this person enough to give them my credit card, then that's good enough for me. Like I bought from Chantel Adams, I think it was either a $6,000 or a $10,000 program from one social media post where she went directly into her sales page. She gave value and then went right into the sales page, and it had an order form right there, even though it was a high ticket offer. Because I didn't want to do a sales call. I didn't want to give my name and email address. I just wanted to be able to see, okay, does this person have enough authority, enough proof that I can trust them? And then if so, okay, I'm going to go ahead and just give them my name. I'm going to go ahead and give them my credit card and buy right then and there. So if that's the type of person that you're targeting, yes, they'll be on social media, but you need to think about how you're using the social media a little bit differently. Now, let's say maybe you're not targeting a higher income earner. Maybe you're targeting just like the everyday mom, or you're targeting the startup business, or the business who maybe they're not the startup, but they haven't really hit 6 figures yet. There's a ton of those people on social media, and most of them, sure, they're scrolling through, they're engaging in content, they're joining Facebook groups. There's a ton of mommy Facebook groups out there. There's a ton of Facebook groups for newer entrepreneurs. Newer entrepreneurs are in consumption mode. They're in information consumption mode. So they are giving you their name and email addresses like that. Like they want all that free stuff. So for those types of people, sure, you can find them online, and you can even get their name and email address from them. Now, so that means social media marketing totally can work in that case for that type of market. The downside is it's slow. Because it is organic marketing, you have to be posting, you have to be engaging, you have to be finding those Facebook groups, you have to be creating collaborations and relationships with those Facebook group owners, you have to be showing up where they are at online when they are there online, because that's the thing about social media. They have these algorithms where the content, it expires. It's not there all of the time. It's set up so that the news feeds are constantly regenerating. So you really have to be at the right place at the right time when that prospect is there. So it can be very unpredictable. It can be very slow, and there's a lot of luck involved. So it can be very exhausting, very exhausting. Now, if you are newer in business and you don't really have the budget for Facebook ads, that might just be what you end up having to do. I did that when I started. I was too scared to get into Facebook ads originally, and I didn't know the things that I knew now. I didn't have a funnel set up right away. I wasn't ready. And because I wasn't ready, I used social media, and I went and I posted in a bunch of Facebook groups. I built my own Facebook group. There is a time and a place for it. I'm not going to say don't do social media marketing, but I will say don't stay there. Definitely don't stay there. It is not a scalable approach. When's the last time you guys have seen me doing a live stream in this group? I do them maybe like once a quarter, because, I do a series like once a quarter, because it's just not where the scalability is. Facebook ads, that's where the scalability is. You can delegate it. You can put in money and then just keep scaling up the money as you're getting results back from it. You can track it, exactly what's working and exactly what's not. It's extremely, extremely scalable. So you can start with social media, sure, just don't stay there, if that makes sense. Okay, so that's the second form of traffic that I want to talk about. The third form is ads, paid advertising. Oh, actually, you know what? Let me back up a second, because with social media, there's another thing that I want to say there. I said, if you're targeting a higher income earner, yes, you can find them on Facebook, but you kind of have to work in attracting them in a different way. And if you're targeting kind of like an everyday type of person, a mom, a startup business, you can find them on social media and attract them in very traditional ways, like getting them on your mailing list. But the other thing that I will say a lot of people do wrong with that form of traffic is they try to do too many different social media traffic streams. Like they'll be on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. I did this when I first started. I was guilty of this mistake. I was on all of the different social media platforms, and I thought that was good because I'm showing up and I'm being visible, right? wrong, because then you are doing every platform in a mediocre way versus really maximizing one platform. So that's why if you go and look at us on Instagram or Twitter, like, God, I cannot even remember the last time I was on Twitter or LinkedIn or Pinterest or fucking TikTok. Haven't even done that, right? I'm Facebook. I specialize in Facebook. I get traffic from Facebook. I use Facebook ads, and that's what I know. That's what I get results on. And so that's what I'm going to put my time and attention in, because that is what's going to be getting me results. And I would rather master one form of social media traffic than be like trying and wasting my time on a bunch of different platforms. Okay, so that's social media. Next form is paid advertising, and there's a lot of different paid advertising. You know, you could do Google ads, you could do Twitter ads, LinkedIn ads, Facebook ads. There's all the different types of ads. Now, I'm a really, really big fan of paid advertising. I'm a huge proponent of paid advertising. I think that it is the most scalable form of traffic, but obviously there are some downsides of it. You have to pay for it. Now, I don't think that that's a big deal now, knowing what I do, because you do make the money back if you do it right, and if you put in enough time and attention in it, if you have the right funnel or the right person by your side, you make it all back. And so yes, it's scary at first, but it ends up being worth it in the long run, especially if you want to scale. Like, you really can't get around it. If I ask you, like, hey, do you want to get your business to multiple six figures? Do you want to get your business to 7 figures? And you say yes. And then I say, okay, do you want to use paid advertising? And you say, no, I don't have the budget for it. I'm going to say, okay, well then those two things don't make sense. Those two things don't make sense together. That's not realistic. You're not playing realistically in this entrepreneurial game. Like, you're expecting a magic pill, and that's not how it works, right? If you want to scale your business, you're going to have to do ads. You have to bite the bullet at some point. So where do you do the ads? And a lot of people make that same mistake with paid advertising, is they're trying to do it on a bunch of different platforms. I think some of the most popular ones are people will try to do Google pay-per-click and YouTube and Facebook and Instagram. And they'll have like 4 different forms of ads that are going, but you're creating that same exact problem where you're dispersing your efforts across a bunch of different platforms. So instead of optimizing one and simplifying so that you can do a really, really good job, you are diluting your efforts and therefore your results. So I highly recommend sticking with one form of paid advertising until you can get results. Now, luckily, Facebook and Instagram are kind of intertwined, and so you can actually do Facebook and Instagram at the same time and it not dilute your efforts because of the way that those ads work. So that's great. I do find Twitter is kind of a joke when it comes to ads. LinkedIn tends to be for like more corporate clients, more higher income earning clients, and for people who have bigger budgets because the cost per acquisition is so much higher. Google pay-per-click I find is best for local businesses, so kind of like SEO is really good for local. Google pay-per-click is really good for local. If you are in a virtual business or a national or international business, and your clients aren't local and your clients aren't maybe either are or are not higher income earners, Facebook is the best place for advertising. Especially right now during COVID, we're seeing that a lot of the big players who used to have like tons and tons of money that they're sending in the ads, they're pulling out their budgets. And so the way that the algorithm works, where you're bidding against these people, those people are not there anymore. And we're seeing really, really, really good cost per leads, cost per acquisitions right now on Facebook in particular. So this is a great time to get into ads if you haven't gotten into ads already. So that's Facebook, or sorry, that's paid advertising. If you're in a local business, Google pay-per-click is great. If you're working with high income earners, I would say either Facebook or LinkedIn if you have the budget to afford LinkedIn. For pretty much everyone else, it's going to be Facebook, which also kind of hits Instagram as well. So that's paid advertising. So we talked about SEO, social media marketing, and paid advertising. So the last piece of traffic is piggyback traffic. Some people call this affiliate traffic. Some people call it referral traffic. Some people call it other forms of traffic. Publicity traffic. We use the term piggyback traffic because it's basically the theory or the idea, the concept is that you are tapping into, you're piggybacking off of traffic that other people have already built. So they've already built up an audience in a podcast listenership. Okay, you get on their podcast and you promote yourself on their podcast. Like they'll do an interview and then you get to pitch. They've built up a readership with a magazine or an online blog. You do a guest blog or get a feature and you get exposure to their readers. They're hosting a telesummit or a giveaway. You get on those things and then you get exposure to their lists. They have already built up an email list and they will feature you in a blog or an article or a promo swap and they'll promote you to that list. They do awards where you can apply for an award and then they've already built up these readers and these viewers and these lists and you win the award and they announce it to their audience and there you go, you get some traffic. So or they've built up a Facebook group and you go and do a Q&A with their Facebook group and that's getting exposure to their Facebook group audience, right? So this is really great for people, for entrepreneurs, for businesses where you haven't built up your own form of traffic. And so you want to send traffic to your offers, but you don't actually have your own traffic to use for that. Like you have a launch, but you don't have anyone to put your offer in front of, and you can't make money without traffic. You can't. If you have a funnel, it's not going to do anything if you can't send people through it. If you have an offer, it's not going to do anything if people aren't seeing it. It's not enough to build up that offer, to build up that product, to build that sales page, that website, that funnel. If you don't have traffic running through it, you don't have viewers that are seeing it, eyeballs in front of it. And the challenge with new business owners in particular is if they haven't built up their own fan base, their own community, their own listeners, readership, they're not going to have that traffic that they own that they can just send through to those offers. So the next best thing is, hey, let me just go tap in to the traffic that someone else has already built. And tomorrow when I go live again, I'll talk about the different ways that you can do piggyback traffic, because I would say if I had to order all of these different forms of traffic, I would say paid advertising is definitely at the top. We've done a lot of live streams in this Facebook group talking about Facebook ads and trying to teach you guys how you can do those Facebook ads or come to us so we can manage them for you. That's at the top. But for people who are just like not quite there yet, not ready yet, the next best form is piggyback traffic. Things like publicity, podcasting, guest blogging, features, that type of thing. Underneath of that, I kind of put SEO and social media kind of on the same, I guess I would say social media and then SEO would be at the very bottom. That would be like the traffic tiers that I would say. So piggyback traffic is the second best form of traffic that we recommend. I remember actually we participate in giveaways all of the time, and in particular there's this one giveaway that we participated in multiple times, and when we participate in it, the host asks for the size of our mailing list, and so we have to submit that every year, every time we participate in it. And she said, oh my god, like it's only been a year, how on earth did you grow your list by so much in that time? And I told her, I mean, all we do is Facebook ads and publicity. That's it. We do Facebook ads and piggyback traffic. That's it. That's all we do. We don't do really social media marketing at all beyond this Facebook group. That's it. And we don't do any SEO at all. So those are really the only two forms of traffic that we're using, that we're relying on, and we've got a massive business and a massive infrastructure. So that obviously is what we're going to be recommending to other people. So who should use piggyback traffic? Okay. There is a type of piggyback traffic that absolutely everyone can use. It just depends upon what type of business you're in, which type of piggyback traffic you will end up using. If you are a local business, then getting yourself on more big name media outlets is not actually going to do that much for your business besides build authority and give you something to brag about. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like that's great to have bragging rights for your business. There's definitely something to be said about that, because that doesn't necessarily help with traffic, but it will help with conversion for you to be able to take that piece of authority and say, hey, you know, I was on Jimmy Fallon or Ellen or Oprah or whatever, or I was on this, you know, news station. It's not going to give you traffic because those types of outlets have such broad audiences, but it will give you some name, some bragging rights to your name that you can use and leverage in that sales process to help increase your conversion. So if you're a local business and you serve local customers, it makes sense that you would want local press. You would want local publicity where your buyers actually are. So like local news stations, local radio stations, local magazines, local HOA newsletters, that type of thing. That's where you're actually going to end up getting traffic if you are a local business. If you are if you serve clients who are in a specific trade, then what I would recommend is very niche specific piggyback traffic, niche specific publicity. So let's say you serve doctors. There's doctors all around the US, there's doctors all around the world, and they have conferences, they have, places that they go, where events that they go to that you can speak on those stages. They have podcasts that you can listen to. They have medical journals that you can get in and they can read. They have magazines that they subscribe to. Let's say you serve fitness coaches, people in the health and wellness industry, same thing. There are trade shows, there are conferences, there are events, there are magazines, there are podcasts that are meant specifically for that niche. And again, that's not to say you can't get on like these big name places like Forbes and Fast Company and Inc. You can, but it's not going to give you traffic. It's going to give you authority. So you just have to understand what that's going to end up meaning for your business. It's going to serve to help with conversion, not necessarily with actually getting eyeballs in front of your offer. So you have to have your goals in mind when you're determining which type of piggyback traffic it is that you're going to tap into. Now, let's say you don't have like a super specific niche. You have a more broad niche. You just serve women. You just serve like the everyday woman. I don't know. Then you can pretty much go for just about anything. The more broad your niche is, the more you can just go for any type of, it's interesting actually. Facebook and piggyback traffic thrive in two different ways. You know, the more niched you are with Facebook, typically we find the better results you're going to get with your ads. But with piggyback traffic, things like if you're trying to host a summit or a giveaway, if you're way too niched, you actually have a really hard time finding people who have lists of your ideal clients to go and collaborate with. Like we had this one client who helps Christian women launch their books, and we're trying to put on a giveaway for her, and I'm like, well, crap, like who else serves Christian women that is gonna be in a place where they're gonna have a list of Christian women wanting to launch a book? Like there's this very small amount of people that you can collaborate with, and so that makes it a little bit harder. So if you're super duper crazy niched, you will thrive using Facebook traffic, but you might have a little bit harder of a time with certain types of piggyback traffic. So there you go, guys. That's kind of the gist in terms of the different types of traffic that exist: SEO, social media marketing, Facebook ads, and piggyback traffic, and who they make sense for, why you would pick one, why you would pick the other. And that just kind of serves as an overview for you guys to see the different options that exist. Now, throughout the series that we're doing this week, we're going to really focus in on piggyback traffic. because like I said, that is the second best option to Facebook ads. And we talked about Facebook ads, God, like all of last quarter. So we want to shift gears and give you guys another perspective and another option. If you're not quite ready for Facebook ads, then we want to show you how you can use that second best type of traffic, which is that piggyback traffic. So tomorrow in the Facebook group, I'm going to be coming back and going through the different types of piggyback traffic that exist. And there's probably a lot more than you guys even realize are options. So it's going to help get you guys going a little bit, thinking a little bit more creatively about how you can collaborate with other people who have lists or readers or viewers of your ideal clients, and how you can create relationships with those people to get some traffic to your offers. So keep an eye out for that tomorrow, 2 p.m. Pacific. And in the meantime, if you have any questions about what we've talked about today, go ahead and post in the Facebook group. I'm happy to answer those questions. But for now, I'm going to get off of my son's bunk bed and go take a nap with my husband. So I'm going to go live quarantine life. All right. Bye, guys.